The Toronto Jewish Film Festival has officially kicked off, and it's on until May the 12th. Joining us now to tell us all about it is artistic director Helen Zuckerman, and I asked our film critic Anne Brody to join us for this interview. Helen, so welcome to What She Said.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Now, you're one of the festival co-founders.
Yes.
So what was the initial inspiration for founding the festival?
I went to San Francisco. San Francisco has a Jewish film festival. I went to San Francisco, looked around at all these people that were coming to the festival. They were not necessarily Jews. So I came back, and at that time, Helga Stephenson was running TIFF. Mm-hmm. So I made an appointment with Helga, and we talked about it, and I said, what do you think about a Jewish film festival? She says, I think it would be terrific. Because you have to understand, in those days, there weren't a lot of Jewish content films making it into multiplexes. You know, I think Schindler was one of the first, and Life is Beautiful and Sophie's Choice. But there weren't a lot of Jewish content films. And now we get over 400 submissions every year. So this is the way it's grown. Like we have films from 24 countries.
How many years has it been going?
27. This is our 27th.
So 1993?
1993
was the first year.
92 or 93. Yeah.
So tell us then how the festival has grown. Where did you begin? It was downtown, but now it's...
We started at the Bloor Cinema, and in those days the Bloor Cinema had over 800 seats, I think. Now they've renovated and they're fewer. So we were down at the Bloor Cinema. The first festival was 5 days long, and we had about 32 films, which included, shorts. And we were sold out, constantly sold out. It was amazing. We couldn't believe it. And then as we grew, we took on the JCC, but we realized we're one of the few festivals that shows films north. Not a lot of film festivals go north. Mm-hmm. We have, the Jew. Although this is not a festival for the Jews, it's a Jewish film festival. A lot of the Jewish people live on the Bathurst Strip and north. So we
and
started
York region,
and North York region. So we now are at Empress Walk, which is at Yonge and Shepherd, and we're at three venues down. We're at 6 venues in total, but the 3 that we're in all of the week is the Bloor. I still call it the Bloor Cinema, the Ted Rogers Hot Dog Cinema. You know who your friends are when you know what the O'Keefe Center is and all the rest of it. And we're at Innis College and Alliance Française downtown, and then we're at 2 Empress Walks uptown.
Okay, so there are 27th year. We've said that there are 85 films, and you were
85 programs.
Yeah. 85 programs. You were
That's
very
incredible.
specific on saying it's not just for Jews.
No,
so tell us about some of the stories.
Well, for example, just a world premiere that's not even listed in our book because we just got it is Fiddler, A Miracle of Miracles, and that's a film based on the play and the film Fiddler on the Roof. Now there are productions happening in Japan and in Vietnam about Fiddler on the Roof, which it's a family story. Many of our stories are family stories, and it doesn't matter what family you're from, what ethnicity you are. It's a family story.
If I were a rich man, is going through my head
and
right now.
every wedding plays Sunrise, Sunset, and everybody cries.
Yeah.
So it's a universal story, and a lot of our stories are universal.
Do you know, I congratulate you on getting Tel Aviv on Fire, which has won all kinds of awards overseas. It is tremendous. It's one of the funniest films I've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, it really is.
It finds the humor in occupation.
Yeah, if
you can say that, but
right.
Oh my goodness, it's just
we were really lucky to get it.
So you said you have 400 submissions. So
over 400.
So how do you curate it down to 85?
There are 7 programmers, 4 women, 3 men, and we get films to watch and come to a meeting, and we say, this is no good, this is good, this is no good. Takes 2 out of 3. And just because I'm the founder, I don't have any 2 out of 3 people. And I've only used my veto twice in 27 years, which is not a lot. And we have a discussion. We consider the country it's from, the subject matter. First of all, it has to be a good quality film. That's number 1. And then we consider the country it's from and the subject matter. There was once where we played a film that wasn't as well made as we would have liked it to have been, but it was about a subject matter about the Jews in Siberia. Now, who's ever going to make a film about the Jews in Siberia? So, we used it. And I always say that even after 27 years, for myself and the programmers, it's always a learning experience. Like this year, we've got Lauren Bacall. Now, who knew she was Jewish? Well, nobody really knew that. We've got a film about Joseph Pulitzer, about the Pulitzer Prize. We didn't, Peter Falk with Columbo, and with one of the episodes that Steven Spielberg wrote, the first episode of Columbo.
Really?
Oh,
Nobody
for
knew
heaven's
this.
sakes.
Yeah.
What about your Canadian comedy series?
The Canadian comedy series is part. Harvey Atkin was.
We worked with
worked with him.
Harvey.
So
Yeah.
probably your listeners would remember him from the Leon's commercials, the furniture people.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers that. Not that he was on Cagney and Lacey or whatever. So he passed away a couple
Law
of
and
years
Order.
ago. Yeah. Oh, was it Law and Order?
Yeah,
I
he was a
thought it
judge.
oh.
Oh, no, both, I think,
Both,
yes.
yeah.
So he passed away a couple of years ago, and his family established the Harvey Atkin tribute to Canadian media. We've got our director of programming, Stuart Hands, has a way of ferreting out these archival programs that CBC has, everybody has archival programs. He nags them enough so that they let them loose, and he recreate a series. So this series, one of them is. He was concentrating on comedy, Canadian comedy in the 60s and 70s. He had a terrible time finding female stand-up comedians in the 60s and 70s. So he created this program, and it's got John Candy in it and Gilda Radner, and it's a tribute to women, and not only that, but it's got a panel after to talk about women in stand-up comedy.
The Girl in the Show. A
Girl
video scrapbook, 1974 to 83. It's a free event presented by Second City with the panel afterwards. And then there's also the Mickey Moore Award, the best narrative feature written or directed by a woman. And tell us about this year's recipient.
The winner is Working Woman, Michal Aviad. It's a film that deals with sexual harassment in the workplace. And
That's very timely.
Yeah. We're also having a panel on the evolution of women filmmakers in Israel. Okay. Because Israel has probably 15 or 20 film schools. Wow. And there's been a great evolution in women filmmakers and in the quality of Israeli films, like
I've seen
Tel
some
Aviv on
excellent
Fire.
ones
There's
over
some
the
wonderful
last
films.
couple of years.
So that's one of the panels that's following voiceover on a Friday afternoon. We have voiceover.
Have you got a couple of favorite films from this year?
Oh, everybody asks me that. And you know what I say? I love that. They're like my children.
I
and
love them
grandchildren.
all.
I
Yeah,
love them
come
all.
on.
No, that I say differently.
Yeah.
I love them
Yeah.
all differently. I mean, Tel Aviv on Fire is so funny. Such a good way to kick off the festival. And it depends what you want. If you want to learn something new, it's Lauren Bacall and Pulitzer, and if you want to get knocked away, I mean, I've seen thousands of Holocaust films in my 27 years, and this film called Sobibor, just blew me away. It's about the escape that was engineered by the inmates.
So where can people go to get tickets and all the information and to find out what the other programs are that are going with the festival?
TJFF.com, TorontoJewishFilmFestival.com, and the program is there. You can buy tickets online. You can call 416-324-9121 to get tickets. We also, I should mention, we have a website called JFlix, where it's a free platform where you can watch films from old festivals, old films that were sitting on shelves gathering dust. And we got permission, and we paid some of the filmmakers who are delighted that their films are being used again. And they're free. You can tune in. It's only available across Canada only.
Okay.
And they're all there. Films from 27 years ago.
TJFF, the Toronto Jewish Film Festival.
And it's not a festival for the Jews. It's a Jewish film festival.
Thank you, Ellen Zuckerman.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
She